Thank you all for coming. I want to welcome you to our third demo day, cycle 2, but third demo day. Some of you have been here before, some of you are here for the first time. Most of you know what Flat6 is, and Ramez is going to explain a bit about it and what we've done. I just want to tell you a few things. The first is, this wouldn't have been possible without a few things. Number one is we have a wonderful team of people who have been running Flat6. We have a wonderful group of mentors, and we have a wonderful partner in the AUC. The AUC handles the majority of the educational component of what we're doing. They do a terrific job. They take what could be taught in semesters and compress it into a few weeks. And I'm happy to say that we're very pleased with how things are going, and we're so happy with it that we're in the process of looking how to expand Flat6. We're right now evaluating opening Flat6 in Tunis and in Saudi, because we think there's opportunities and a lot of entrepreneurs who can benefit from a similar process. The most interesting statistic I will tell you is that for the next cycle, which starts in a month, we had 180 applications. 5 of them were from outside of Egypt, from Yemen, Romania, other places willing to relocate to come to participate in this. So it's a tribute to the people who've put on the program, Ramez and the team, and to the AUC, and especially to the entrepreneurs who graduated in the first 2 cycles, and to the entrepreneurs who are here because they've gone out and been successful, and most importantly, they've shown the benefit of going through a more structured process of starting a company and trying to turbocharge what normally would take a much longer time than what they go through. So that's really all I have to say. I would like to just ask Dr. Sharif Kamel, the Dean of the Business School at AUC, and our just invaluable, unreplaceable partner in this project, because this was started as a partnership between us and the AUC. And he'll talk a little bit about what they do and why they do these things and participate in wonderful programs like this.
Thank you, Ahmed. As Ahmed mentioned, I think it's an honor and a pleasure to be here today, because I go back almost 2 years, and we were having coffee together, and we started discussing what would be one of the things that would make an impact on the community. And a project like this was on the top of the priorities. I think Ahmed mentioned in his early statement one key word, which is the teamwork. I think the success is we thought of what is many times dubbed as ecosystem, where everybody plays a role. And I think the complementing each other led to whatever that happened over the past 24 months. And as Ahmed mentioned, I think the sky is the limit when it comes to expansion, when it comes to impact. And the keywords, as you all know, are just innovation, ideas, future, youth, impact, new markets. I think all these gathered together is what we're in here for today. So it is an advantage, it's a privilege, it's an honor to be part of that initiative. And AUC School of Business just plays one of those bits and pieces in this huge 10,000-piece jigsaw puzzle. I think Egypt will never run out of ideas. I mean, we don't have a problem with people. According to statistics, we grow by 1.9% every year. That's a lot. And many of them have ideas, and I insist on saying those ideas, they don't necessarily come from Cairo or Alexandria or Giza. They come from all over the country. And I think initiatives like this entices those to come up with their ideas, try to get trained, that we help in training them, shaping a bit their managerial skills, their business skills, how to come up with a business plan, how to market for their ideas, how to take their cases to the the business case to the next level. But again, I insist, it's a teamwork. We all learn from each other. We learn from each other as partners, but we also learn from those who come up with those ideas. And I can only see the impact of the future of Egypt being positively going the right direction through things like that. We need scalability, of course, but I think we need to have a very, very solid ground, a very successful model on the ground, and then we take it to the next level. So again, I'd like to thank Flat6 for giving AUC School of Business the opportunity to be part of it. I'd like to thank everybody who's involved. I don't want to forget any names, but definitely Ahmed, definitely Hani, Ramiz, Dina, and the others. And I'd like also to thank my team. We have staff members. I can see Ghada here sitting at the far end. But also our faculty who's been part of this initiative. We call it EDP. It stands for Entrepreneurs Development Program, and which is basically works with those young, passionate, current and future potential entrepreneurs to shape up their ideas so they can be ready for a strong, solid startup that can go all the way. So without further ado, thank you very much again for giving us the opportunity, and we look forward to working in the following cycles. And I'll pass the word to Ramiz, one of the heroes of this initiative.
Thanks, Dr. Sharif. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. First, let me give you a brief about Flat6Labs and what we have accomplished during the past year. It has almost been 1 year since we started. Sawari Ventures thought that there is a need for creating an entrepreneurial lab for entrepreneurs to start and to grow. We were supposed to start this project by beginning of 2011, but it got delayed for too many things and too many reasons, and we started our first cycle ever on October 10th, 2011. Since then, we have been providing entrepreneurs in Egypt by all things they need, like seed funding, office space where they can work with their team, the business education, through our partners like the AUC and many other partners who joined us later. And of course, the mentorship, thanks to our great network of mentors. In the past year, we have invested in 18 companies. 18 companies have graduated from Flat6Labs. Today, we are graduating the latest batch. We had 55 founders or entrepreneurs, and they hired more than 130 employees. There were 32 mentors in our network, and we welcomed more than 56 speakers to come to Flat6Labs and give sessions about too many things. And we had more than 650 hours of sessions and education taught to our entrepreneurs. One of the most important metrics we measure our success according to is the follow-on investments. The initial investments we put in the last batch of companies, the 12 companies that have already graduated from Flat6Labs, was 800,000 Egyptian pounds. And I want to announce that 6 out of the 12, they have secured another round of funding of around more than 6.4 million Egyptian pounds. For us, this is very important criteria and a very nice success metric. And of course, it couldn't have been easy for us to do it without our partners like the AUC, which I think the AUC's role has been instrumental in Flat6Labs since day one through their network of academics and faculty, students even who have been working with our teams during the past cycles as interns and helping them in their business side. And we have also added other partners across the last year, like the Global Accelerator Network, as we joined the Global Accelerator Network as the first member in Africa. WAMDA, with their 360 approach to support entrepreneurship in the Middle East. And during the last cycle, we announced the partnership with Microsoft, where they are providing a full day, actually 3-day trainings to our entrepreneurs, covering all the technology they need to know about from Microsoft. And we have also announced a partnership with PwC, where they are offering us a great training day for our entrepreneurs, where they learn about things, how to run mainly a business, like the legal side and the financial side as well. And we have also expanded our contribution to the ecosystem of the Egyptian entrepreneurship, like we have been sponsoring and hosting teams from Startup Weekend Alex, Startup Cup, Fikreti, and Egypt Nigma through this great competition. I think that too many entrepreneurs have emerged from these great competitions during the past year. Now let me introduce you to our third cycle, cycle 2. So now let me introduce you to our 6 CEOs, Mu'taz, Usama, Sabrine, Yusuf, Ala, and Amr. And today these 6 CEOs are introducing 6 new companies emerging from Egypt to the world. Fikra Squared, AStarApps, Hub 43, Integreight, GamesBond, and Yadaweya. They are introducing too many new verticals to the Egyptian and the global markets, like open innovation, e-commerce of handicrafts, electronics, games, HTML5 and social games, too many things to the technology community. And I think I'll just stop speaking and invite the first CEO to present to us our hair company. So please join me welcome Sabrine Asim, the CEO of Fikra Square.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Sabrine Asim, and I'm presenting to you today SolverMine. Before starting, I'd like to share with you a very short story. Centuries ago, when ships tried to cross the ocean, they faced a huge problem. They actually couldn't locate where they were, and there was a potential for them to be lost. And this was mainly because it was impossible for them to measure a ship's longitude. The thing is, in 1714, the British Parliament decided to appoint a board with the sole responsibility of running a public contest, offering a huge cash incentive to anyone who could possibly afford to come up with a simple and practical solution to solve the ship's longitude problem. The most prominent solver was this guy, John Harrison, a carpenter. Ever since, the world has been changing at an accelerated rate. And in order to survive, more innovative solutions were essential. Everyone should innovate. Companies, governments, non-profits, they all need to innovate. And not as they used to. They need to innovate faster, cheaper, and better. More brain power is needed, much more than what is available internally within the organization's reach. And this brain power, it's there, lying just outside the conventional boundaries of every organization, waiting for a chance to be discovered. And in order to access this external brain power, open innovation is needed. Open innovation is built upon the belief in the power of the crowd, its diversity, infinite capabilities and wisdom, and in the power of the individual, who's today more connected, informed, better, creative, and empowered than ever before, and who can make a difference. It's the power of the small teams, the startups, the entrepreneurs, the academics, the students, the scientists, the engineers, the power of each and all together. All of the big names, or most of them, realized this power emerging. And one really good example is P&G. P&G, in 2001, they introduced a strategy called Connect and Develop, with the sole purpose of sourcing at least 50% of their innovation from external networks. Along the way, they partnered with over 120 universities and over 80 different business networks, making innovation at quarter the cost and achieving a success rate of 75%. And it's not only P&G. All of these big names, big companies, and governments, they all spent over $130 billion on solutions and innovations coming from outside. How does SolverMine fit in all this? SolverMine is an open innovation intermediary, or open innovation platform, that connects companies, nonprofits, and governments with external networks, huge external networks of potential problem solvers and innovators. Let me show you how it works. First of all, an entity, a solution seeker, posts a challenge on our platform and attaches to it a prize. A pipeline of solvers starts submitting solutions, and they sign intellectual property and confidentiality agreements. The solution seeker, the entity, picks the best solution and awards the solver. Intellectual property and confidentiality related agreements are handled in a way that causes no harm to any party. And this is actually what SolverMine does. It is a facilitator, a manager, that manages the relationship between the solution seekers and the problem solvers. And the thing is, we take a commission on each of the on each of the competitions, awards posted, and we have some challenge hosting fees as well for hosting the challenge on our platform. Other open innovation platforms exist. They actually manage to have solvers networks in the US, China, Russia, India, Europe. Others like Innocentive, 9 Sigma, Yoroncore, they're pretty successful. The Middle East, the Arab world, is our undiscovered SolverMine. Global, regional, and local players are all invited to untap the huge, never properly addressed or utilized brain power of the Arab crowd. And actually, the advantage, just the advantage of having local talent, addressing regional challenges, finding viable and relevant solutions for agriculture, climate change, renewable energy, IT, and other sectors, the advantage is massive. And in order for us to get unlimited access to potential networks of qualified solvers, we actually seek partnerships. In the previous 2 months, we managed to partner officially with Nile University and the GUC. We're also on our way to sign an agreement on Wednesday with Cairo University, and we're signing an agreement soon, inshallah, with the AUC as well. We're also invited in November to KAUST in Saudi Arabia to present our startup and our project and see how we can have a partnership with them as well. And the thing is, we already have a pipeline of challenges that we're currently working on formulating before launching the platform. We have interested clients such as Vodafone, IT Works, and actually we talked as well with the German Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and they have 3 challenges very interesting related to sustainable energy in the region. This is how we envision the growth of our challenges throughout the upcoming 3 years. This is how we see how we can support innovation and come up with very viable innovations for the challenges facing the region and the world. And this is also the solvers, how we envision the network of the solvers to be grown exponentially. Okay. The funding requirement is £800,000. These £800,000 are mainly divided to the cost of goods sold and a large budget for the marketing and the hiring plan because of the big project that we're offering. And this is our team. The team makes it possible. Aya, Noha Askar, and Noha Mahmoud, and me, Sabrine. I just forgot to tell you something. I'm sorry, before the team, that will break even, inshallah, in December 2013 as well. And that's all. Thank you so much for coming. I'd be glad to have any questions now.
Any questions?
Thank you. What are your costs of goods sold?
Yeah, the cost of goods sold actually amount for between 200 and 300,000 pounds. And this is for the next upcoming 2 years. I cannot tell you the exact number, but it's above 200,000 pounds.
I am interested to understand the part related to intellectual property. You say it's secured, but I think the experience, or at least the perception, that intellectual properties are not so respected.
Sure.
So if you can elaborate on that, I would
Sure.
Thank you.
Well, first we're dealing with 2 parties, the solution seeker and the problem solver. With the solution seeker, what we do is signing a seeker contract before posting the challenge, in which the seeker identifies how his entity wishes to deal with the solution, whether it wants the solution to be exclusively the entity's property, or it wants the solution to be licensed only by the seeker. The thing is, the seeker determines from the start how the IP or intellectual property transfer is going to occur. And from the other side, the solver. Before posting the solution, the solver has certain intellectual property agreement to sign, and that is very clearly indicated on our platform. And with the intellectual property agreement that the solver is signing, he enters the challenge details and starts submitting a solution. And we are currently researching a method by which we can limit the amount of information being posted on the solution and still make it obvious that this is the viable solution for the seeker later on to select and contact the solver. And also I want to highlight that not only the intellectual property terms, but also the confidentiality-related issues, especially with the seeker, are being handled. The seeker can, from the start, say that his identity should remain anonymous. We're currently building our legal framework with a very, very highly profiled lawyer, and I can share with you further the templates we have so far.
It's a very good work you're doing, of course. I have two questions. The kind of, or the range of ideas could extend to unlimited. Sure. So do you have a certain range or certain types of ideas that you just promote?
Sure.
The second question is that how do you make people know about you?
Okay, sure. Well, concerning with the sectors that we'll be focusing on in the next period, well, through certain research we conducted and a lot of reports that have been issued concerning with the MENA region in particular, we identified 4 key sectors. The first one is alternative energy, alternative or sustainable energy, other sources of energy, other sources of water, electricity, etc. And this is a sector that we highly, we target seekers in. The second one is agriculture, and the third is health, and the fourth, in this order, is IT. We started with the IT-related challenges because our expertise as a team is mainly concentrated in this area. But later, when we expand further and have access to experts and consultants who can actually help us, we will later on focus on the other 3 sectors that I said. This does not mean that we are restricting the type of challenges from the start, but we are just focusing in targeting the seekers. This is concerning the first question. The second question with the marketing, in order to reach the solvers, well, we have a plan. Of course, the online marketing plan is essential, social media, and having a strategy for how to connect to existing networks that reside online. The second one, and a very important means, is our partnerships. We identified over 130 potential partners in the MENA region, spanning from universities, business associations, governmental entities that have access to directories of entrepreneurs, patent holders, and scientists. And these directories, we want to market our challenges on, and among the things that we agreed on with the Nile University and GUC in particular, we said that not only will our challenges be promoted on campus, but also these challenges will be, in some cases, part of the coursework of both academics and students. And this is actually how we try to build our solvers networks at first. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Now let me introduce Mu'taz Suleiman, the CEO of AStarApps.
Okay. Hello everybody, I'm Mu'taz Suleiman from AStarApps. At AStarApps, we are developing solutions and services that helps developers get their apps beta tested in a much more easy and seamless way than the ways that they are doing it right now. First, let me show you some insights about the mobile apps market. Right now, there are 1.2 million apps already hosted on the different app stores, and it's growing at a huge rate of 360,000 apps every year. Just to put this number in order, it means an app every 2 minutes, which is a huge rate. And also the amount of money spent on building those apps is huge. $4.3 billion are spent every year just to build those apps, of which $350 million are spent on just testing for those apps. So how did they spend all this money? They first started by using the traditional ways of testing, such as buying all these devices that they are targeting their apps to and executing those tests on all of these devices, or hiring full-time testers that would work at their company doing testing in-house beta testers. But both of those methods were not cost or time efficient. So they decided to search for someone else from outside of their company to start beta testing their apps. But still, they found that they are still facing 3 major problems. First is global reach, because they were not able to reach global users from global markets to beta test their apps in the markets that they are launching their apps in. And even if they were able to reach those users, they will still had problems with communicating with those users. Because for them to send the app to the tester, for a developer to send the app to the tester, he had to send it in an email, and the tester needed to connect the device to the computer and get the device synced to download the app and get installed. It was a huge hassle for them. And even if they were able to send the app to their testers, handling those feedbacks and keeping track of all of these feedback sent in a very ad hoc manner, each in a different format, it was a huge problem for the developer and a huge problem for the tester too to send the feedback, because they had to take screenshots and send it in an email, which was a huge problem for the tester too. So as a result of all of these problems, their apps might end up with a comment like this on the App Store. And as you all know, having a couple of comments like this on the App Store, it means that this app is dead. So we decided to end this misery for the developer and the tester by providing our platform. Our platform is a crowdsourcing platform that connects the mobile app developer with their beta testers from all over the world. Beta testers from different backgrounds, different regions, and even with different devices. And we also provide them with a way of sending their apps to their testers over the air. So they can just send the app, and the tester can download the app from the device itself. Also, we are providing our feedback mechanism, which is the most important thing for the developer, which is to hear from their testers. We are providing them with a way of sending feedback, which is super easy for the tester. The tester can send their feedback from the app itself. They don't need to do anything more. And this provides an organized view for the developer to view their feedback in a more organized and keep track of their feedbacks. It starts with the developer downloading our AStar SDK, which does all this magic, and integrating it into their app by adding a single line of code and uploading the app back into our website. Then the developer selects their beta testers by selecting them using whatever criteria that they want. And here starts our magic. It starts with the tester getting the invitation and accepting the invitation on our website, and they can download the app from our website using a single button press. And by that, they get the app up and running. And whenever they are using the app, all what they need to do is just to shake the phone. They don't need to do anything more. By just shaking the phone, they get our feedback form, they fill in their feedback, and we are also attaching a screenshot with the feedback so that we can make it even more clear for the developer what does the tester mean by his feedback. And once the developer sends the feedback, the developer will get notified of this feedback, and they can view the feedback details and even the tester details, tester's device, and all of these details, and they can even filter those feedbacks so that they can get so that they can keep track of all of these feedbacks. Also, we are providing statistics about the app for the developer so that they can get testers' statistics, feedback statistics, and even crash reports. By comparing our platform to our major competitors, we'll find that we are the only platform providing the whole package that they need. We are providing them with crowdsourcing as well as filtering for the testers, and also are providing them with app distribution with in-app feedback, which makes our offering is the only complete package that they have. Also, we are providing the support for all of the major mobile platforms out there, while the others provide support for a couple of platforms at most. We'll be generating revenues mainly from a 10% commission that we'll be taking from the fees that the developer will be paying for their testers, but we'll be also adding some more premium paid features, such as featured apps, where the developer can get his app featured on our website, just to get more reach for more testers as a part of their marketing campaign. And we are even providing developers with analytics so that they can get more insights about the user's behavior while using their apps. We've started working on our platform in July, and our team succeeded in finishing our private beta release and releasing it in just 2 months, which is a record time since we started this platform from scratch. And we released this platform supporting most of the features, such as app distribution and in-app feedback, and supporting iOS as a start. And then we started contacting our customers, which are the developers. And since they were in dire need for our services, we were very successful that we signed up with most of the local companies doing apps in just 17 days to use our platform, and actually we are serving most of them right now. And we're still expanding in the MENA region so that we can get more reach to more developers and more companies. We're planning to launch our platform by the beginning of next year, which will be our public release, which will add support for other platforms such as Android and Windows Phone, and we'll be also adding the crowdsourcing features. And later, we'll be adding analytics and featured apps during the next year. We will depend mainly during our beta period on our personal connections and on the local community of developers, so that we can reach the most number of amounts of developers to start testing and using our platform. But starting Jan 2013, we will expand our network globally so that we can reach more developers and more testers, so that you can reach our customers, which are the developers and companies doing apps. And what will make it even more easier is that our market is a very niche market that we can easily reach through specific channels, such as tech websites and blogs, tech conferences, or other startup accelerators. We are expecting to break even in October 2013, and we are raising a fund of 750,000 Egyptian pounds to help us grow our business fast in our first year. Our A-Star team behind all these achievements is a group of 6 young talents, me and Omar Gabra as co-founders, and we have 2 developers and 2 designers. You are always welcome to sign up on our website at AStarApps.com, and we will be waiting for you after the presentations to show you our exciting demos. Thank you.
Thank you, Motaz. Any questions?
Couple of questions. One, have you looked at integrating with test case management software or bug management software going forward for larger firms? And the second question is, how do you handle sort of crashes in the application, and how does that feedback get returned to your systems?
Okay. For integrating with other bug management tools, we are still considering whether we'll be integrating with other softwares that are already there, or we'll be building our own. But for sure, this will be provided by our this will be one of our services that we'll provide. But maybe we'll be postponing it till we add more support for most of the major mobile platforms. And for the other question about the crashes, we were doing automatic crash reports that we send to the developer once a crash happens on the tester's side. So when the crash happens, while the tester is testing the app, we take a screenshot of the app at that time, and we send it with a stack trace of providing more details for the developer, so that he can find that the error happened in this place, so they can fix those errors without any intervention by the tester.
Just, well done, great work. Just 2 quick questions. What's the barrier to entry from what you did? What prevents other people to do the same? How fast will it take to have something similar to what you have? The second question, what glues the team together? So in other terms, when will you break up as a team? What glues you together so that you don't break up?
Okay. For the second question, I hope we don't break up. Actually, we're trying to keep with our current team, because we think that they are super talented. We want to keep them at our company, and we'll do our best to do this. And for the first question, we'll be releasing our platform as a public for the public use by the end of this year. And I think by that time, we will have more traction in the media. We hope so.
How do you ensure the quality of the testers?
Okay. There are two ways of doing this. The first way, if the developer don't want to get into this process, we are already monitoring certain parameters in the tester side. So we already record the number of times that the tester did open and close the app, the time or the duration they spent using the app, and the number of feedbacks that they sent. But if the developer wants to decide the parameter on which we will decide whether the tester did the test or not, they can register certain parts of the application so that they can say for the tester to have this testing done, they had to go through those steps and just register those steps. And whenever the tester covers 80% of those steps while testing the app, we'll consider this testing as done. So we'll be providing support for those two.
We have time for a fourth question, and I can say no to Con. This is our great mentor.
Very fantastic job.
Thank you.
Beautiful, looks beautiful. On the tester side, does the tester set his own fee for what he's expecting for his time and his effort? Or how are the rates, do you set rates for everybody, or do different geographic rates, or is it up to the individual to set their rate for testing? What are you taking a commission of?
Okay. Since it is different from an app to another, whether I will need to test it in an hour or I will need to test it in a week, so the one who will decide the fees paid is the developer. So the developer will be setting the price that he will pay for each tester. And they can later negotiate. So for example, I will set my price to be 10%. I will pay every tester 10% for testing my app, and I will send an invitation for the testers. Testers may accept or decline my offer, and I may change my offer and resend the invitation again.
Thanks, Mu'taz.
Thank you.
We'll go to our next presentation. Yusuf Garas, the CEO of Hub43, will introduce the first gaming company Flat6Labs invests in.
Hello, everybody. I am Yusuf Garas, the CEO of Hub43. We are creating the next generation of social games. Current social games, the games that you play every day from your cell phones or your laptops with your friends, on Facebook or on your mobile, they have two problems. The first problem is that these social games, they are not cross-platform. When you play a game and you are attached to the game, you want to continue playing the same game on all your devices. In most cases, this is not possible. And even when they promise you a version of the game on your phone, like for Farmville Hill, it's not the same game and it's not the same farm. And what you plant from your laptop, you cannot harvest from your phone. The second problem in current social games is the limited social interaction. The most you can do in current games is to send gifts or send messages to other players, but there is no real-time interaction with other players. How do we solve these problems? We solve these problems using our own framework, Basbousa. Our framework is our machine that we use to quickly create games. Using our framework, we can create games prototypes in 2 weeks and start testing gameplay at an early stage. And we start testing if the game we are creating and investing in is actually fun or not. By doing this, we mitigate the biggest risk in game production, which is investing a lot of money in a game that is not fun and no one wants to play. In Hub43, we use new technologies to run our games inside web browsers. So any device with a modern web browser can run our games. It's the same code and same game on all devices. We truly have cross-platform games. Moreover, for the first time, we introduce real-time interaction to browsers. When a player plays the game from his phone, moves his character, another player playing the same game from his laptop will see the character moving the same instance. We have live demos showing this, and please come to our booth after the presentations to play our games from your mobile phone, and we'll play against you from our laptops. We currently have 2 games on our platform. Our first game, it's in beta right now. You can find it by searching for Mamlakt al-Sukur on Facebook. It's a turn-based game where players compete to free the hawks. This is a real photo showing different devices, a phone, a laptop, and an iPad playing in real time against each other. The second game is Manf. It's a city building game. Unlike other city building games, in Manf you collaborate in real time with your friends to build bigger cities. We tailor our games specifically for our target customers. We are focusing on Arabic gamers. There are 15 million Arabic gamers spending $1.3 million every day on social games. There are less than 400 games serving these gamers. The average daily spending for Arabic gamers is 9 cents per day. The average spending in North America is 6 cents per day. So let's have a look at the competition in this market. The biggest player in this market is Peak. They created Al-Mazra'a Al-Sa'ida, Medinat Al-Ahramat, and the biggest titles in the Arabic world. Their first quarter profit was multiplied by 10 between 2011 and 2012. They recently acquired a Saudi company, Balut, for 10 million Saudi riyals. Another player is Falafel. They recently received a fund from MBC Ventures, and Nizal, an Egyptian company, they received $1 million from ID developers. So why do you believe we have a market share and we can compete with these big companies? First, we are the only company creating true cross-platform games. Nizal have the technology to create cross-platform game, but they haven't published any cross-platform game yet. When Peak tried to target mobile gamers, they created 2 games, but only for iPhone mobiles. Our games, they run on all mobiles. And the most important aspect in social games is, for a game is to be a multiplayer. We are able to provide a much better multiplayer experience using our real-time browser-based interaction. So what gives us edge? First, our short time to market using our framework. We introduce real-time interaction to browsers for the first time. And we target all devices while focusing on mobile. We make money using 2 models. We can license our framework and provide the framework as a software as a service. And we also make money from our games, from in-app purchase, advertising, game sponsorship, and creating custom games. We are currently releasing Mamlakt al-Sukur. Again, please try it. Search for Mamlakt al-Sukur on Facebook, and try it right now after the presentations. March 2003, we'll release our second game, Manf, and by September next year, we'll be releasing our third game. In order for us to do this, we need a funding of 1 million Egyptian pounds. 1/3 of this amount goes to marketing. And let me introduce you to our great team that I am proud of, the gang behind all the great work in this company. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Yusuf. Any questions?
I had a question on the slide before if you go back 2 or 3 slides, you've released one game and you're releasing 2 more, correct?
Yes, exactly.
By September of next year. How come you're only releasing 2 more games, if you have such a short lead time to market? You had mentioned it only takes 2 or 3 weeks to develop a game and get to market.
No, I mentioned we can create game prototypes in 2 weeks. We don't create full games in 2 weeks. Game development in general is very complex. So, and a very important aspect is to have a prototype so you can start testing gameplay at early stages to answer the question, is the game fun or not?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
What's the idea behind the name?
Which name? Hub 43? Okay, so the number 43 is not special in any way. So we decided to pick the number 43 and make it special by associating the number 43 with our success. Yes, that's it.
Is it your intention to one day perhaps venture into PC games?
In what, sorry?
PC games.
PC games?
Yeah.
These games can be played from the browser. So I understand, like you mean to create. No, not really. It's not on the roadmap because, like, right now everything is moving to the browser. Remember how, like, from 2 years ago we used to have our spreadsheets and everything locally using Office and these products. Right now everybody is using Google Sheets. The same is happening for games as well. They are moving to browsers as well.
Thanks, Yusuf. This cycle is full of firsts. Now we'll introduce our first hardware company we invest in, Integreight. Amr Salah, the CEO of Integreight, will talk to you about it.
Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. I'm Amr Saleh from Integreight. In Integreight, we design hardware products that are targeting engineering students who work with electronics. But first, let me give you a brief about how students work in college. One of the simplest circuits that we used to learn in college is the clock. But when students need to prototype the circuit behind the clock, it's very simple actually, but it will be this complex. Now, to see where the problem is, let's see how students do it. This is called a breadboard. Students use breadboards to put on electronic components on it, and then use wires to connect between the components to build the desired design. And here comes the problem. The problem is you need to cut and connect each and every wire and put it on the breadboard. Now it's a very tiring process, it's time wasting, and it's not efficient at all. You see, after you build the whole circuit, it might not work because you just misplaced one wire, or it is not inserted fully into the breadboard. So, instead of doing this circuit in 6 hours, we figured out a solution that can make you do it in just less than 1 hour. This is our product. It is called Smart Breadboard. Let me show you how it works. It has a hardware where you put the electronic components on, and then on the software, you just draw the wires. So we removed all the headache of physically implementing the wires on the breadboard and put it on the software. And then these connections comes back to the hardware. And as you see, it's very simple GUI, and the breadboard has no wires. The same implemented circuit you used to do in hours, you now do it in just less than 1 hour. So the breakthrough here is that we saved more than 80% of the time wasted in the implementation process. You see, you used to spend some time in design and a lot more time in the implementation, but now we take you from design to implementation in only 1 step. So it has a huge educational value. Now students get to focus more on designing. It's not their job to spend that much time on cutting wires and putting them on the breadboard. It's their job to create solutions, to focus more on design, to innovate, to create solutions. So now they get to do at least twice the number of projects they used to do before. Now, it is not just a breadboard without wires. It's not just a luxury product. We've made it a multifunctional kit. You see, students, when they work in the lab, they use some test and measurement equipments, like the oscilloscope, like signal generator. They use it to generate some signals and then view it on the oscilloscope. And they use multimeters to test and measure the circuits. They use it to check the current, the voltage on the circuit. So we've managed to integrate all this device into our device to make it a suitable prototyping environment that any young engineer can dream of. So yes, it's a new idea, it is an invention. And an invention had to be protected. And that is why we are applying for a US patent. We've already applied for a provisional patent to protect the idea of implementing a circuit and physically connecting it without wires on a breadboard. And it is expected to be released by 2014. So now that I've told you about our product, let's see some market statistics. There is more than 6,000 engineering schools all around the world with more than 900,000 engineering students studying electronics. And this reflects on more than 4 million projects are done every year using breadboards. And there is actually a very interesting segment of the market, which are the hobbyists. And there are more than 100,000 of them just in the US. So now we have a product and you have a market. The question is, how are we going to reach our market? How are we going to talk to the customers? To answer these questions, let me tell you more about our products. We have two versions of products, a student's and a university one. The student's version has the basic connectivity technique. It has an integrated power supply. And it's for $50 so that students and hobbyists can afford it. And then the university version, it's for $500. It has all the integrated devices in it, and it's very suitable for the lab environment. Now, our plan is to release final prototypes by 2013, and then giving free samples to the universities. Because this is our go-to-market strategy. This is how we reach our customers. Students and professors need to see demos. They need to see the product. The professors need to make students work on it and do a lot of circuit to feel the value of it. So this is our strategy. So now to summarize everything, let me show you where is our status now. We already designed a proof of concept of our product. It's working, and you can see it in the demo. We showed it to universities, some local universities, and we got an excellent feedback on it, and actually some suggestions to work on it, and we are actually developing based on these suggestions. For our first year, we'll be releasing our prototypes. And before releasing our prototypes, we intend to contact some international universities in the US, actually the top of them, to tell them more about the product, to send them a video of demos of circuits done on our product. And once we have the prototypes, we will be giving them the free samples to try on. And then in parallel, we will be contacting some companies that produce products similar to the kits that are in the market. Because they are producing kits, even companies producing software simulation programs, test and measurement equipments, because we offer a unique product that is not offered by anyone in the market. So we can integrate with them. We can complete their products. And then we'll start the mass production. We'll start with the university version and later on with the students version. Now, to do all of this, for our first year, we will be needing $110,000. Now this is distributed as such. It's more than 35% are on the prototypes. And why this amount on the prototypes? Only because we are designing a new chip that is integrated in our system. We're not using one of the chips in the market. There is no chips in the market that does the connectivity technique. So we are designing a new chip with the desired specifications. And the rest goes for the salaries and marketing expenses and some other travel expenses. At the end, I'd like to introduce you to our team. We are a group of 8 engineers. We've been working together for 2 years from now. And we are divided into sub-teams, a technical and a non-technical team. The technical team is also divided into software and hardware, who are working on developing the product. And the business team is concerned with all the business operations in the company. That was pretty much it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Am. Thank you, Am. Questions?
I'm sorry? Yeah. We already applied for an application, a provisional patent application, and then we'll go for once we have it, we'll go for the PCT to protect it in some countries.
Just a quick question. Are you supporting both digital circuits and analog circuits, or only digital?
Yeah, of course. That is why we're using analog circuits, and that is why there is no existing chip in the market. We could have done it using an FPGA, which supports digital only, but we chose to support all the circuits that are done in the lab, including analog and digital circuits.
And what voltage range?
From -15 to +15.
Okay. Thanks.
You said the university version integrates 3 other equipments into the... what are the prices of the 3 equipments on a standalone basis? This is one thing. And my other question is there any advantage whatsoever of buying these equipments separately, not within the...
Okay, for the first question, the pricing of the other test equipments, well, it varies according to the specifications. There is an oscilloscope that sells for $200, and there is one that sells for $2,000. So, and also for the other devices. And for the second question, what is the advantage to integrate all of this? Because a prototyping environment is better than having 3 or 4 other devices in the lab. And that is the strategy that NI is going for. NI is a multinational company based in the US. It specializes in producing fully functional prototyping platforms. This is the trend that is going right now.
Minor point, but what about revenue projections, payback period, blah, blah, blah?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, we will start in producing our products by the university version. We will have, do you mean the numbers of revenues? Yeah. We will have $400,000 by the end of 2015. That's to break even. And then we'll be expanding our numbers by exposing to more and more universities.
Okay, thanks, Amr. We'll go to the next presentation. Alaa Taib, the CEO of GamesBond, the second gaming company we invest in, will introduce to you GamesBond.
Hi, I'm Alaa Taib, CEO of a game studio that produces games for different platforms, PC, mobile, web, and we are called Bond, GamesBond, like the actor. Games are everywhere. Almost everybody plays games, in any time, anywhere. Like this guy, he's playing on his mobile in a crowded bus. A woman attending to her child in the same time playing on Facebook. An old man having fun with Kinect. Not only that, but also games are being used in every field in life. One of the fields we are interested in GamesBond is education. The research said gamers spend around 10,000 hours by the age of 21 playing games. Most people would think that is a total waste of time, but another research proved that games give the gamer some aspects like goals. It gives them sense of achievement, or a sense of objective. They always have a mission to achieve, so they work. So they are always optimistic to achieve what the goals they have. They always know they are on the verge of an epic win in the game. Third, productivity. They always do the best they can to achieve what they want and the mission or to finish the game. Fourth, hand-to-eye coordination, because they need to play with the keyboard or whatever the tool and see the monitor at the same time. Finally, they have to learn fast to keep up with the speed of the game, or else another player will beat them to the game, or the highest score. But still, this is just entertainment. What if we put education to the mix? It will give us entertainment. Entertainment solves a really serious problem. Schools nowadays are dependent on memorizing. The teacher is explaining whatever the subject, and the students, they are bored. So they rather play or skip school than learn. So we made a game, an educational game, using Microsoft Kinect. The Kinect is a sensor that sends the body movement and translates it inside the game. Microsoft made the Kinect for Xbox initially, then they released another one for Windows. Our game, our Eduactive game, Eduactive Fun, is a game for kids between 4 and 8. It's a suite of 6 mini games that teaches different things like counting and simple math, alphabets, Arabic and English, clock, and we will add more games to the game. And now I will show you a live demo. Please come forward, Ed.
I have some help from our little friend Iyad.
Now he's choosing the game he will play. He chose to play all the games in a sequence. The first game is a clock teaching game. He needs to match the analog clock with the digital clock. Okay. يلا يد. تاني يد. ماشي. كمل. Sorry. عادي. يلا يد. شايفين اهو. The second game, he needs to count the number of fruits on the seesaw and lean towards the heaviest one. The third game, he needs to match the alphabet with the shape corresponding to it. The final game in the demo is he needs to deliver the amount of drinks the customer needs. So if the customer needs 5 drinks and he delivers 3, he will need to deliver the second time 2, and so on. And that's the end of the demo. And we will be adding more games that teaches different things. Our market is private schools in Egypt and Middle East. There is around 1,600 schools in Egypt, private school in Egypt with 220,000 students. We will use our sales force to reach the market and partnership with e-learning companies to market it for us as a go-to strategy. The school will have 3 options to use our games. First, to buy the game and the Connect for 3,000 Egyptian pounds. Second, Fun Days. Fun Day is a one-day event that have many activities, and we will take part in it for 500 Egyptian pounds. Third, after school activities, it's 2 hours twice a week after school activity for 3 months, which will cost the parents 200 Egyptian pounds per child, and the school will take 25% as commission. Our roadmap. By February 2013, we will release our first game. 2 months after that, we will release 2 more games. By September 2013, we will release 3 more games, which will make total of 6 games for the first year. By October 2013, we will break even and expand to the Middle East by January 2014. Finally, the team. And to achieve all that, we will need 500,000 Egyptian pounds. And finally, the team: me, Alaa El-Tayyib, CEO; Ahmed Taysir, CTO; Hoda Hifzi, our director; Karam Muhammad, lead game designer. And we will be hiring more developers and designers to complete the team. And finally, Iyad, the game tester. Thank you. Thank you. And please come play our games in our booth after the presentation. Any questions?
Any questions?
Thank you very much. Very good presentation and a lovely game. Thank you for the effort. It looks brilliant. You mentioned on the pamphlet that one of the models will be selling the game for £800 as a price of a game.
It will be...
right, it's here, it's £800.
We changed the price after we printed the pamphlets because we calculated our expenses against our profits, and we found if we increased the difference, it will make a better revenues. But still, the prices are not final because...
So that's fine, but the 2 questions, even at £500, £500 is $90. Don't you think $90 is a bit too expensive for an Xbox game, especially in this market? And the second question is, do you have any idea about how large is the Xbox market, both in Egypt and in the Middle East?
First, we are not making games for Xbox. We are making it for Windows, for PCs. Second, 500 is the average game price for Xbox actually in Game Valley and version, because if you buy it from outside, it will be like 300 pounds. If you buy it from Egypt, it will be around 500, 550. Second, the market of Xbox, it's actually not a concern for us because we are, as I said, we are releasing to Windows, not Xbox. But I don't think it's large in Egypt.
Thanks, Ale. Now, let me introduce to you the first team from Upper Egypt we invest in. Osama from Qina, Naqada, will introduce to you Yadaweya.
Hello everyone. First of all, thank you, and please excuse me for me. I will continue complete my presentation in Arabic. Actually, because Yadaweya for us is like a dream and a story, so I will feel comfortable to complete with my native language. Thank you. في البداية أنا من قرية صغيرة اسمها كوم الضبع في نقادة في قنا. يمكن للكل مش معروفة، لكن هي قرية صغيرة على النيل، لكن اسمها في التاريخ معروف. أكثر من 4500 سنة اتبنت عليها حضارة نقادة القديمة، وعشان كده سموها نوبت أو ذا لاند اوف ذا جولد، أرض الذهب. كل تاريخ مصر في مرور كتير مر على القرية دي، إلا إن اسمها اتنسى. بس أنا اتولدت وأنا صغير وعشت وأنا صغير، شفت حرفيين كتير جدا شغالين في القرية اللي أنا فيها واللي حواليها، بيشتغلوا حاجات مش فاهمها. لما كبرت شوية بصراحة بدأت أفهم أو أسأل هم ليه الناس دول ما زالوا مستمرين بينتجوا الحرف دي رغم الصعوبات اللي بيواجهوها. ويمكن كان منها قصة عم حبشي. عم حبشي بالنسبة لنا 58 سنة من نقادة، هو بينتج الفركة أو النول اليدوي. النول اليدوي ده أقدم من أقدم النول اللي يمكن مصر قاعد تصارع الصين مين منشأ النول فين. من أكثر من 3500 سنة عن جده بينتجوا بدون كلل إنه ممكن يوقف الحرفة. وبصراحة بينتج قطع فنية جديدة كانت تنافس لفترات كتير جدا. مصر في فترة من الفترات بتصدر للسودان 58 مليون دولار في الثمانينات، اللي حاليا يمكن اتعطل. بس هو بيحاول ليه؟ لأن بدأ يواجه صعوبات. بدأ يواجه صعوبات في تطوير المنتج بالنسبة لمنتجات تاني يمكن بتيجي برا مصر. بدأ يواجه صعوبات في السعر اللي بيقدر حرفته. بدأ يواجه صعوبات تقدير المجتمع فيه كفنان ولا مجرد حد بيصلح حاجة يعني. بدأ يفقد برضه اهتمام السوق المحلي أو الدولي، وبالتالي هو فعلا ما كانش فيه دولي ليه، لأن طول عمره مصر محتاجة أكتر إن نفتح لحرفنا بره. عشان كده بصراحة كانت فكرة يدوية بالنسبة لنا بعد المشاكل اللي شفناها بدأنا يدوية. يدوية بالنسبة لنا هي ذا فيرست اونلاين ماركت بليس للهاند كرافتس في مصر. بالنسبة لنا هي مش مجرد كمان سوق إلكتروني بس عشان تساعد الحرفيين، بس قصة يمكن هنتكلم فيها مع حضراتكم في استكمال الحوار ده. بالنسبة لنا المكان ده لو حضراتكم كلكم بتشوفوه ده جوه مصر، قطعة من مصر فعليا. في أماكن كتير مننا لسه ما يعرفهاش في مصر. في أماكن كتير وفي حرف كتير وفي حرف يدوية كتير، في اللي اندثر منها وفي اللي لسه شغال محتاج اكتشاف، وده جزء من مهمتنا كيدوية أكتر من مجرد تسويق. ده في الشلاتين في جنوب البحر الأحمر في الصحراء الشرقية. بالنسبة لنا بدأنا قصتنا باختيار 12 مجتمع. هو في صعوبة لكن بالنسبة لنا بصراحة كانت متعة، لأن ده اللي اتعودنا عليه ال 15 سنة اللي فاتت من خلال شغلي في محميات وحماية التراث. فحتى الصعب بالنسبة لنا احنا متعة في يدوية إن بدأنا اخترنا 12 مجتمع كستارتر بوينت ليدوية في هذا الشهر كبداية يدوية.com. دول حاليا أكثر من 630 فنان ب 480 حرفة مختلفة، منهم 20 حرفة حضرتك مش هتشوفهم مع حد إلا من خلال يدوية، لأن دول اكسكلوزيف لينا من خلال وصولنا مع منتجين بشكل جيد. ودي البداية بالنسبة ليدوية. احنا يدوية زي ما قلنا لحضراتكم it is not just marketplace for handicraft، لكنها فعلا بتحكي قصص الفنانين. فبالتالي هي بتحكي قصص الفنان اللي جاب منه الحرفة وفين الفنان. فبالتالي حضرتك بتعرف معلومات أكتر عن قصته، فيديو وصور والسايتس والبليس والمرجعية التراثية ليه. فبالتالي بيبقى في شفافية أكتر مع الكاستمرز اللي على الويب سايت عندنا، والشفافية الأكتر من السعر. فبالتالي الويب سايت بيقدر يوفر كمان منتج بمواصفات واضحة جدا بقصة الفنان، قصة المكان، بسعر، طبعا ده الاسعار حاليا في البروتايب، الويب سايت بالنسبه لنا لسه في مرحله البروتايب، وبالتالي بيبقى فيه وسيله سهله جدا ان يستكمل الشراء من خلال وسائل متعدده للدفع الالكتروني وكاش اون ديليفري، فبالتالي ايزي شوب اني وير او الدفع باي طريقه. ال 12 مجتمع اللي بدانا بيهم مناطق النوبه في صناعات السحف، حجازه صناعات الخشب، عندنا المحتمديه في صناعات النسيج على الورق، عندنا جنوب سيناء الخرز والتطريز، عندنا الاقصر النوبه المهجرين، عندنا الداخله بصناعاتهم الجميله والجريد، عندنا شلاتين في اقصى جنوب البحر الاحمر، حصير السعد في الدمنهور، سيوه بمنتجاتهم، والوادي الجمال بالكليم الصحراوي، والزاويه بمنتجات النحاس، بالاضافه لجرجوس طبعا الخزف الممتد عبر التاريخ، ونقاده بتراثهم القديم، وسوهاج صناعه التولي. دول البدايه بالنسبه لنا. السوق هو سؤال حضرتك، هو التطلع للماركت سايز. السوق بصراحه مبشر جدا، يعني حجم تجاره الحرف اليدويه الاي كوميرس في العالم في تقرير 2007 في الهاند كرافت ماركت اسسمنت في 2007 كان 4 بليون دولار، وده يمكن اخر تقرير كان مدي رقم جيد، 4 بليون دولار الاي كوميرس للهاند كرافت. لكن لا تتخيل ان في الولايات المتحده حجم تجاره الحرف خارج الكوميرس 100 بليون دولار. وبالتالي طبعا احنا مستهدفين الانترناشونال ماركت، والانترناشونال ماركت اللي هيزور مصر هيتحول بالنسبه لنا التوريست. طبعا حجم السياحه في مصر من 12 مليون 10 او 12 مليون بيجوا مصر، تقريبا الشوبينج هاند كرافت شوبينج سواء اي كوميرس او اوف لاين 75 مليون دولار. بالاضافه للاكسباتس في مصر اللي عايشين في مصر تابع لتقرير احدى المجلات 40,000، والمصريين في العموم عشان يشوفوا التراث والحرف المصريه. احنا العائد بتاعنا هيعتمد على كوميشن على السيلز، ممكن اب تو يعني 50% للمنتجات واقل، على ممكن جزء اعلانات على الويب سايت، بالاضافه ان هننظم ايفنت واكسبيشن اوف لاين عشان نقدر نعمل بروموشن للويب سايت وللحرف اليدويه. احنا زي ما قلنا لحضراتكم يدويه هتحاول تضيف قيمه مضافه للمنتجين وللسوق المصري، انها مش بس ماركتنج للهاند كرافت، ولكنها هتساعد في تسويق الحرف، تشبيك المنتجين مع بعض، نتوركينج، بارتنرز، محاوله حتى وضع سبوت اكتر مع الصحافه على الحرفيين دول، فبالتالي بروموشن اليدويه وبروموشن لمشاكلهم وتسويقهم. تسويق السوق جوه مصر، اكسباندنج للماركت، ومحاوله احياء التراث، بالاضافه برضه للكاستمرز. الكاستمرز في مصر بيعانوا احيانا من عدم التسعير الحقيقي، الفير تريد برايس مش موجود بالنسبه لهم، اختلاف اماكن مختلفه، بالاضافه عدم وجود قصه، فبالتالي هي هتوفر اونلاين شوبينج ووسائل دفع ووسائل تسويق الكترونيه بشكل بسيط للمنتجين. احنا ازاي هنوصل للماركت او الكاستمرز؟ طبعا اونلاين، اعلانات اونلاين او اوف لاين او ايفنت، او بالنسبه لنا في ممكن ناس هتكون معانا زي امباسادورز بروموشن للحرف، ففي وسائل طبعا مختلفه كتير كجزء من الخطه بتاعتنا في يدويه، بالاضافه للشراكه. احنا حاليا في البدايه بدانا بشراكه مع 15 ان جي اوز وكوميونتي جروبس وشركات مجتمع، وبنستهدف ان شاء الله في المستوى القريب شراكات مع الفير تريد وممكن اليونسكو لو بدانا في جزء اكتر على التراث. علشان كده احنا بالنسبه لنا يدويه الارقام الماليه ان بنستهدف خلال السنه الاولى نوصل ل 24 مجتمع ب 1600 منتج، واكسباند للسنه لغايه السنه الثالثه فيما يزيد عن ما يقرب من 7000 منتج من خلال عدد المنتجين. طبعا القرار قال ان السنه الاولى يعني هيكون في لوس بحوالي 280,000، لكن هنوصل خلال السنه الثانيه والثالثه الى في ريفينيو جيد للشركه. عشان كده اللي مطلوب طبعا عشان نقدر نغطي اللوجيستكس والتكنيكالز ايشوز حوالي 800,000 جنيه مصري، طبعا استخدم في جزء كبير. بصراحه ورا القصه دي تيم كتير جدا، انا يمكن اخرهم بالنسبه لي كاسامه مدير السي او، في سما والي عندنا طبعا مهتمه بجزء الريسيرش والتراث، ومحمود عبود اللوجيستكس مع الحرفيين، والدكتوره اماني سليمان ادفايزرز، وسعد فتح الله مدير مالي. ده بصراحه كان بدايه التيم، وانا شاكر جدا لحضراتكم. وفي نهايه احنا في النهايه بس يعني حضراتكم في المكان اللي احنا بنعرض عليه الويب سايت في هديه بسيطه كده من المجتمع، يعني محل لحضراتكم مكتوب عليها يدويه بحيث ذكرا. شكرا لحضرتك. اي اسئله اتفضل. For question actually welcome with any question in Arabic or English.
You can ask in English or Arabic. يعني ممكن تسأل بالعربي English.
قديش هامش الربح عندكم وقديش نسبة الميزانية اللي مخصصها للتسويق من نسبة المبيعات الكلية؟
ده السؤال جيد. أوكي. بالنسبة لينا حضرتك طبعا ده سؤال جيد، لكن في السنة الأولى طبعا بالأخص حضرتك نسبة كبيرة جدا من التسويق، يمكن up to 50% من البادجت بدرجة كبيرة، سواء اونلاين اوف لاين، سواء ايفنت، سواء اكسبيشن، سواء جزء برضه حتى من التسويق ان عاملين بونص للحرفيين، سواء جزء من التسويق البروموشن والشيفت والبي ار، فالدرجة كبيرة جدا. جزء كبير من يعني up to 50% من ميزانيتنا تبقى اصلا للماركتنج واكتر من كده، لان احنا حتى حضرتك على الجزء بتاع اللوجيستكس مع الحرفيين كستوك او بناخد للعرض، ده مش بيعمل ضغط علينا عشان علاقتنا معاهم جيده جدا، فجزء البرودكت مش عامل ضغط علينا، لكن هو فعلا اللي مركزين فيه اكتر التسويق عشان يحصل ترافيك على الويب سايت وفي فيزيتورز وفي يعني نعم هامش الربح ده بيختلف حضرتك. هو احنا بالنسبه لنا اب تو يعني 50% من قيمه المنتج، لكن كل ما يكون المنتج يعني سعره اعلى فاحنا بالتالي الكوميشن بيبقى اقل من 50%. تمام حضرتك، خصوصا ان هذه النسبه دي شامله فيها جزء لوجيستكس كتير عشان يسر على تسويق للمنتجات.
واكسبكتد ان هو يجي لي في خلال سي يومين او 3. فاللوكيشنز او الاماكن بتاعتك منتشره في مصر في اماكن بعيده
بالظبط.
فلو عندك 10 كاستمرز او 10 افراد طلبوا من مكان في الصعيد مثلا ومتوقعين يجي لهم في خلال يومين 3 التكلفه بتاعت النقل مقارنه بتكلفه الحاجات اللي انت بتنقلها او الحاجات دي، تكلفه النقل كده هتبقى كبيره قوي. تمام. فكل مره هتنقل فيها من حته مختلفه للقاهره او الاسكندريه او لشرم او الغيره. تمام. فهتحل ازاي المشكله دي؟
احنا الحمد لله بدرجه كبيره حليناها دلوقتي حضرتك. وجودنا مع المجتمعات دي الفتره اللي فاتت معانا منسقين كويس جدا على الارض. منسقين كويسين جدا على الارض. فانت عارف احيانا حضرتك ان ابرع الشركات اللي ممكن تشتغل باسلوب جيد جدا ممكن تعتمد على حلول تقليديه عشان تخفف التكلفه. فاحنا فعلا في الحاجات دي معتمدين على حلول تقليديه وتخفف جدا من التكلفه. احنا معانا كوردينيتورز على الارض في اماكن كتير في كل الاماكن دي حضرتك يعني من خلال علاقتنا معاهم. في البدايه طبعا الاولى احنا عندنا ستوك فعلي موجود، فده مامن اول فتره كبيره جدا من الشركه. الحاجه الثانيه حضرتك انا عمري لما هطلب من الحرفي ما هطلبش منه قطعه، بطلب منه عدد، فده بينزل جدا الشيبنج. يعني لك حضرتك تتخيل بيحضر الوسائل التقليديه جدا الفعاله جدا لما بيوصل عندنا، يعني ممكن عاوز اقول الرقم، القطعه ممكن يكون فيها نص جنيه احيانا او جنيه التكلفه بتاعت الشيبنج، فحتى لو احنا هنضيفها على التكلفه بتاعت المنتج مش هتمثل شيء. بالاضافه ان مع استمرار الفتره المتقدمه في الشركه وهنبقى عارفين حضرتك الانفنتوري المطلوب، هنطلب كميه كبيره طبعا، فهيكون عندنا الشيبنج من العميل من السبلاير لينا تقريبا قليل جدا. اما طبعا الشيبنج مننا للكاستمرز فده طبعا وضع متوقع يعني.
يا اخ اسامه سؤال، ليه مش حاطط في البلان ان يبقى من ضمن الشغل بتاع يدويه محلات؟ يعني ليه الشغل كله مبني على الاي كوميرس بس؟
تمام حضرتك، هو يعني احنا يمكن لما فكرنا وقررنا في الجزء ده فعلا محتاجين نركز فعلا ان عايزين نحقق نجاح في الجزئيه دي. عاوزين نحقق نجاح في الجزئيه دي الاونلاين ماركتنج الهاند كرافت، لان على الارض في بعض المحاولات من 10 15 سنه في مصر، ستورز شوروم كذا، تمام، ومحقق لدرجه كبيره نجاح في سياقها يعني. لكن تحجم الاونلاين ماركتنج خصوصا انك بتتكلم حضرتك دلوقتي على نمو كبير جدا سواء في الريتيلينج في الاونلاين، سواء في الحرف اليدويه، خصوصا ان احنا بالنسبه لخططنا كمان مش موجود بس تسويق الحرف اليدويه اللي الناس متعوده عليها. احنا حضرتك لسه في المنتجات الطبيعيه، الناتشورال هيربز، التويز، الالعاب الخشب، الحياه فهو في الخطه بتاعتنا في المستقبل كمان لسه في منتجات كتير في الخطه. فاحسن ان نوسع في عدد منتجاتنا ونركز اونلاين افضل ما نفكر ان كمان نفتح وسائل تسويق ثانيه ممكن تشتتنا على الهدف الاساسي.
Part of the attraction إنه حد يستعمل يدوية is إنه هيساعد الكوميونيتيز. فأنا عايزة أعرف أنتوا دلوقتي إزاي هتدفعوا للكوميونيتيز؟ هتدفعوا لها per product؟ هتقسموا على الكوميونيتيز كلها اللي بتصنع؟ وإذا في كوميونيتي بيصنع سجاد مثلا أكثر من كوميونيتي أو قرية ثانية، أنتوا كيف هتفرقوا إنكم تدفعوا لهم؟
احنا بالنسبة لنا حضرتك ده سؤال جيد جدا. احنا في مجتمعات من اللي بنشتغل معاها عبارة عن بنتعامل مع فنان بفنان artisans يعني individuals، فده easy اوكي. and now also يعني our start, we pay in advance to save our stock. Maybe in the next months, we will take some handicrafts to be in our warehouse until for 3 or 4 months until sold, so return the money for the artisans. In case of communities like in Shalatin, we deal with leaders from community. So we have a coordinator who dealing with the community, and there is a logistics. Each woman know the number of pieces they produce, so know the cost, and like this. So the coordination and coordinator in the ground is very important. And this is one of our advantage for us, that we have a good relation with community, with leaders, with coordination. So there is no problem in financial issues with communities.
These were the presentation. Mr. Alf, you want to say any final words?
This is always an educational process for us. We have very interesting discussions of the concept of fair trade for a capitalist and for something like this, and how do you split things. So the thing I really enjoy is the educational process that I learn as much as they learn. It's really, it's wonderful, and it's enriching. The most important thing, some of you missed some of the presentations. If you missed anything, they'll be back at the tables in the back. But what we need is investors, guides, coaches, partners to help these companies take the next step. Our job is to start and go from 0 to 60. Somebody has to drive after that. Okay? That's what Flat6 does. All right? That's really how I envision our task. We turn the engine on, we put it in gear, get going, full speed. Somebody else has to drive. The more people help and the more people participate, the more we can do. I think we can do double the number of companies, triple the number of companies per cycle. The part that's missing is what happens after, and after they graduate, and the participation of people like you and others. And if you know other people, we need their participation as well. I think we can transform a substantial part of the economy. A lot of people work on creating jobs like lower level jobs. These are the best jobs for an economy. They're high value jobs, and the average income substantially higher. Most of these are export of very simple products to export software, which is the easiest thing in the world to export because there's not much of a shipping cost. Okay, so I want to thank you for coming. I'm very impressed with what they've done. Those of you who have attended more than one of these presentations, the caliber on the bar keeps being raised. So I feel sorry for the next cycle. They have to work twice as hard. Ramaz and the crew have to work twice as hard, and I want to thank you again.
Thank you all for joining us tonight. We'll head to our coffee break, and then you can, if you want to talk to any of the teams, you'll find tables for them in the next room. And see you in next demo day in January 2013, inshallah. Thanks.